And to the young lady or the young man that has made the decision to save yourself and to reserve yourself, I want to tell you, job well done.
Yeah.
Hang in there. I applaud you. I applaud your yes to the Lord, and praying that you continue to stay faithful to the Lord so that you can be faithful to your future spouse. Um,
Thank you for coming to another episode of His Wife, Her Husband.
I am Shamika, his wife,
And I am Patrick, her husband, and our purpose is to help you build
and sustain your marriage.
from a biblical perspective. We
Mhm.
are doing another, I guess would be a hot button topic. I think it
Hot
is.
button.
And it is sex before marriage. Should
Do
you
we
have
do it?
sex before marriage? We are already engaged. I know this is the one I want, and there's nobody else for me like her, and so I think it's okay. So as believers, are we okay? And because a lot of Christians do it as believers, um, you know, what do we feel like? What are your thoughts about sex before marriage? You gonna start?
This is going to be warning, warning, warning. This is going to be an exhausted and a long podcast or episode.
You think so?
I'm going to tell you because we're going to get into it.
All right.
So this is the thing. You asked the question about sex before
Sex
marriage.
before
Right?
marriage.
So should
So we know as believers we should not.
yeah, I was getting ready to say
Why?
uh-huh.
Why do we do it still?
Uh-huh. Now, see, this is that part where we don't want to talk about. That's why I said it's going to be a long episode. The reason why we do it is because we are trying to sedate and we are trying to fill a void that only God can fill. Because ultimately, we want someone up on us and in us to numb us to who we really need to be in communication and in relationship with.
Good.
Now, sex is a natural human appetite. But this is the thing. When you can manage the appetite and the rage and passion of wanting to have sex before marriage, and can I be real honest, even in a marriage, having sex with someone else that's not your spouse,
Correct.
that takes so much relationship, that takes so much faithfulness to the Lord to keep you where you're supposed to be, to keep you contented. If you cannot control your sexual appetite, then guess what? You loose in a whole lot of other areas.
Yeah.
Like if you can't resist the temptation of that, then it is some more digging in, some more things that need to fall off and fall away so that you can stand firm and having done all to stand, to continue to stand.
One of the problems is that we've had sex with other people before we even met our spouse, and so now because I heard one lady say, "I want to know if he can really do it." The truth be told, if we do it God's way, because we're talking about believers now, let's just work as believers. If we do it as believers, then there's no way you can compare anything to anybody. I know a guy, his wife was a virgin, he was a virgin, so whatever's out there, nobody knows.
How do you know what you're missing?
Yeah, he don't know that Keisha whatever because it's his wife, and she don't know if you know Poindexter. I don't know whatever because that's her husband, and that's the only person that they've been with. So one of the problems that we've done it wrong in the first place because
Yeah.
we've had sex with other people, and I did too. Now I'm not like no, but we've had sex with other people, and now I'm trying to make sure if it's compared to what I've already had.
Which that right there can bring and breed some insecurities too.
It does.
Hmm.
It does for a lot of people because now that I'm having sex with my spouse and they don't know how to do it like whoever. Now I feel like I done messed up,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get out there and you know do other things or use other things to help the spouse out in that particular area, and then now you're gonna come up or you'll create um, bad habits within the marriage, and you create fantasies within the marriage that should not be, because you have this comparison thing that's happening within the marriage.
Yeah, I was going to say, what word came to my mind is high levels of toxicity. Like it is just really, really, really dangerous atmosphere. I'm thinking about like sometime when we're cleaning a home and how you can tell when a chemical has been used because that fume is in the home. And sometimes we can use too much that we have to step outside. And so yeah, anyway, when you have sex inappropriately and illegitimately, it is breeding grounds for toxicity. Because I'm going to be wondering if you're thinking about her. I'm wondering if I am enough.
Right.
I mean, it's so much is will he want somebody else? Will I always satisfy? Like it's just so many layers that can come with that would then begin to break down that fidelity fabric that's supposed to be in a marriage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another thing for me, not having sex before marriage. I was gonna say, blah, 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 blah. I forgot my thought that quick. You got anything else? Because I forgot what I was about to
It'll
say.
come back to you. Because because sex is such a powerful action, it can be to your benefit, meaning that within the marriage, it brings the husband and wife closer together. It is a merging. It is a merging together that is unexplainable. And by the same token, if you do it harmfully, it can be the worst weapon of ever in your life. You can be so confused in your thinking and in your heart where you don't even know how to rationalize and think the things through because you have taken on that person's personality and you have allowed them in your personal space. You can begin to have feelings and thoughts that you maybe didn't even have at 1st because you've opened yourself up to another and you didn't even have the legitimacy or that marriage covenant to authenticate and to bring you all closer together to walk in harmony with each other. And so if you have sex outside of marriage, then there's disharmony and disunity. Because at the end of the day, you're doing it outside of the ramifications of covenant.
So, even so, I want to talk to the point about having sex with the person before marriage that you are going to marry, even that particular person. In the last episode, last video we shot, we were talking about the first. So if I'm having sex again, we're engaged. I know this is a person I'm going to marry, but you begin to have sex with them before your husband and wife. Then again, the excitement or the what's the word the
Participation.
now it's the anticipation, the magic, the majestic feeling, whatever. Just it's this great feeling of this is our first time together as husband and wife, and oh what a feeling it is because we haven't touched each other, and so even having go ahead.
I think about and again, yeah, I think about the the security and the comfort in knowing that you waited for me. You waited for me. And let's just say if this message finds you that you didn't wait, that you rededicated and reset for me. That makes my stock or my value go up so much more. Why? Because you chose me
Right.
and you waited for me. So, yes, I don't have a problem with laying my life down, right? I don't have a problem with waiting. Or let me go back. I don't have a problem with giving myself away to you in marriage because you waited for me and you did whatever it took to wait for me. another thing you just mentioned about, like, if you're a fiance, or y'all dating or whatever, it's something about walking through that season of deep hunger and longing to say, I love you enough that I am going to help you not do this. Like, I want you to,
Right.
but it's not the right time.
Right.
We're what we're not going to do is rush this.
Mhm.
Let's take our time with this. Why? Because if we learn how to take our time now, then when other situations and circumstances come up in our life, we'll know how to walk through and navigate and get through this.
Mhm.
Why? Because the most natural appetite we was able to suppress.
Mhm.
So all other things, it becomes, I'm not gonna say easy, but it becomes easier to
Mhm.
suppress.
Mhm.
It's like, no, because if I could tell myself no to that, I can delay my gratification in other areas.
Yeah.
Delay your gratification in the most natural thing, and look, you will see where it will help you in so many other areas of your life.
And if you have already been having sex with your fiance, and again, Shamik said you find this message, there's nothing wrong with rededicating yourself. There's nothing wrong with putting the brakes on it and glorifying God with the relationship. For me, I just believe, because I'm always talking to, because I haven't had this conversation with a guy, but I've had the conversation with a young lady, and I said, if you're giving up the cookie, put the brakes on. Tell him, I know we've been doing it. I know we've been, doing that thing, but as of right now, as of today, I'm rededicating myself to God, and I want us to wait until we're married. That there is going to show whether or not the guy, how much he values you and your decision, because he'll either say, cool, I'm down with that, I respect you, I'll wait, or he'll say, I'm not going nowhere, we don't have to have this great big old wedding. If you want to, we can go ahead and get married now, because we've been together for, typically if you've been together more than
Year
probably
and a
three
half.
months, probably 3 months, you already been having sex sometimes, some people.
Okay.
So if it's been that while, or if you've been together for years, some people have already had sex. Okay, cool. That means, and I'm saying that to say, this is probably the person you feel like you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's stop. Let's just stop and let's go ahead and get married. If they don't do that, it's just me. My question is, how much do they really value you, the person that they say they love? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they do that and they decide to wait, that's a great indicator that the relationship that you guys have moving forward has a better chance of succeeding in the marriage. In the marriage, yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times too, um, I'm gonna say this was probably old and new school. People got married for the benefit of sex,
Hmm.
not thinking that we would never not have it, or a situation in life will warrant that,
You can't have it
we can't
anymore.
have it anymore.
That's
I
deep.
mean, that thought never crosses our mind. It's like, oh, they married, so now they can, we can have sex, we can have
Hmm.
it. Um, but there are periods and there are times that, in one's life where it could be for fasting. Let's say spiritual things, it can be fasting.
Hmm.
Let's say natural things, it could be health.
Periods.
And oh yeah, it can be menstrual cycles.
That's why I thought you said for
That's
periods.
that's so funny. I wasn't even thinking that time, but it can be just for health issues.
Right.
Surgeries, things that just come up, and they happen in one's life that will prevent sexual intimacy
Hmm.
from occurring. And so I'm glad that I brought that up
Medicine.
too.
Hmm.
It could be medicine, yeah, inadequacies, all kind of things that can hinder and prevent the couple from experiencing sexual intimacy. And so this is where, again, that relationship with one another, it is now it's really important. And you learn, I believe, through the walking together, the like walking healthily beforehand, it helps you to walk together in the marriage because intimacy it is expressed sexually, but it's intimacies in everyday occurrences of the marriage. It's the gentle touch, it's the look, it's the glance, it's more than just sexual. That's the best way I can say. It's more than sexual. So I believe that if you are engaged and you want to be healthy in your marriage, uh, I would say that do this on the front end. You begin to find and practice healthy ways
Of
of
being intimate.
letting of being intimate
Good.
with the person that you want to enter into life with, because there will be times where they may not be able to have sex. Then I need to know that you still know how to love me, even if we can't express it sexually.
That's good.
Because there are times where it's just time and space prevents. It just happens.
Yeah.
So just be mindful. And I know that I want to say that there was um, that we was talking about even for fiancés, but even if you are a newlywed or if you have years of experience in your marriage, I want to communicate again that need for intimacy, like caring for your spouse in all ways. I'm not saying that you can now start to neglect sex. That's I'm not saying that.
Right.
But what I am saying is that you will heighten the sexual experience and encounter in your marriage when you show intimacy, uh, when you do it outside of just to get some. It's you showing that you care in other instances in life that you can automatically bank that I want to give it to you.
Right. And you probably ensure getting it
Yes.
with the intimacy
Yeah.
of first.
We probably could go into we probably could comb through that some more, but
Right. We can. We can always revisit anything we want to. So, sex before marriage, and I was particularly talking about believers and you're engaged. We're saying no. Number one, we're saying no because you open up a lot more things that could harm the marriage
and
more than
help.
help the marriage. I know you
Yes.
think it is, but it really doesn't. Number two, you take away that first, like this is our first time together as husband and wife, and this is such an enjoyable moment for us.
I was gonna say first and only. Like this your first moment, but in this first moment has only been shared with you. Yeah, so that again that makes the stock even more sturdy, I
So
guess.
this, I guess, I'm answering from the fact that maybe there's a couple they've already had sex before. You know what I'm saying? Or they were married and they say their spouse died, and now they're getting married again. So they can't have a first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've
Yeah.
had it before. Their spouse died, and they're about to remarry, and so now again you have to go in it with the same thing. We can't do anything until we're actually married. Other than that, no, I'm gonna save myself for that because guess what? Husband, young man, wife, young woman, you're worth it. You're worth the
Yes.
wait. Solomon tells us, "Don't awaken love too soon." There's so many things um, that could taint the marriage bed. The marriage bed is undefiled. Other than that, you have to respect it and do it God's way. And then,
And I'm glad you said that. But look, for the record, God created sex. He
right,
created it as a benefit to the husband and the wife to help consummate and to continually consummate
right,
their renewal of faithfulness and pleasure within the marriage.
right,
So we don't want to neglect that. But if you do it away from God and you lean to your own understanding, you discover, oh, I don't have to be married to do this, and I can still. Then you setting yourself up for pain and disaster. Even if you may not, you don't know what that consequence is.
Yeah.
But it is not pleasant when you do it the wrong way.
Right. So yeah. So I agree. It's harmful. It's harmful more than it is. It's helpful. So yeah. So make sure those of you like, if there's someone who disagrees, like let us know why do you disagree in the comment section. Let us know in the comment section. If there's someone who agrees, like what is it that we said that you agree with, and what are some other reasons why, as believers, we should not have sex before marriage. And in particular, I'm talking about you're engaged, and
The date is set.
you're gonna get married. What are some reasons why you should not go ahead and consummate that relationship before you've made a covenant with one another?
Yeah, and to the young lady or the young man that has made the decision to save yourself and to reserve yourself, I
Amen.
want to tell you, job well done.
Yeah.
Hang in there. I applaud you. I applaud your yes to the Lord, and praying that you continue to stay faithful to the Lord so that you can be faithful to your future spouse. And yeah, so just know that the Lord is proud,
And
and
pleased.
please, yeah, and if you have entertained the idea of to not have sex anymore because you know that it's not right, I encourage you to make that decision and commitment today. Go ahead and give the Lord your yes, and begin to create those healthy boundaries, create that healthy space so that you can be restored and reset to be presented to your spouse on that special day.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind and know that you are worth it and they are worth it. He is worth it. He or she is worth you going through all of this for. They'll be glad that you did.
Amen. Hey, if you're out there and you're looking to take your marriage forward, and you know, hey, listen, we're good, but we want to see how we can improve. Shamika and I are certified marriage and life coaches, and we'll be happy to have a discovery conversation with you to see how we can help you improve on your marriage. Just go to our website, www.hiswifeherhusband.net, www.hiswifeherhusband.net, and sign up for a discovery call. We do coaching as couples, and we do individual. So if you're looking for coaching as a couple, in the subject line, make sure you put the word his wife, her husband. Husbands, if you're looking just for coaching for yourself, make sure in the subject line you put her husband. Wives, if you're looking for coaching for yourself, make sure you put in the subject line his wife, and we'll give you a call, and we'll be happy to work with you. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. God bless you, and have a good day.
Be
Thank you.
encouraged.